You've probably heard me talk about Western Rise a lot already this spring and summer season, so I'll keep it brief. If you're looking for good clothing, whether it be shorts, t-shirts, hats, socks, underwear, whatever it might be, head over to Western Rise, use discount code ODIE, get 15% off your order. My channel gets a little kickback, which helps support me, and you get new clothing for this season that's gonna be absolutely fantastic. On with the video. Okay, so today we're gonna talk about something a little different. In fact, we're gonna talk about something that I mentioned in a couple videos previously, and that is my favorite and one of my best home office accessories that I could ever ask for, this Halo96 keyboard from Nuphy. Let's get into it. Okay, so I've already mentioned this keyboard. I talked about it in my Able Carry review, and I've been using this kind of for a little bit of everything. I've been using it to go down to the shops, but primarily, as you can see, in my home workstation, it has been my keyboard for everything. And you might be asking yourself, okay, well, what sets this keyboard apart? What is special? And that was my first question when I was going down the path to find a new keyboard for my home workstation. I stumbled upon Nuphy and just instantly fell in love. Okay, so the first thing I want to say is that Nuphy has a variety of different keyboards. This is their Halo series 96 because it is 96% keys. It's also the largest one they have. They have like a medium version of this and then a smaller version. Each one gives you less keys. I got the one with the whole number pad and everything because I figured I would need it. They also have an Air series, which is a lighter, thinner version of mechanical keyboards just like this one. Now this is 3.3 pounds. This is the Halo 96 and it is about 3.5 pounds just existing, just purely being here. So because of that, it's not the most practical thing to haul with you to the places that I've been doing, and honestly, it's not something that I'm really doing as much anymore because it's also a little bit just sticks out. When you're sitting at a cafe and you pull this out, it's very noticeable. So the reason I mention this is if you're looking for a keyboard to go with you places anywhere outside of the home, then I would still watch this video, but I would lean towards the Air series. Same with reverse that, if you're looking for something for a home work setup, then the Halo series is definitely what you're going to want to lean towards. Now, either way, the quality and the build and things I'm going to cover are mostly what Nuphy does as a brand for all their keyboards, and then a couple things specifically for this one. So if you're interested in either, this video will still be helpful for you. Okay, so the first thing and the most important is the haptic feedback and key selection that Nuphy offers. Now, there's a variety of ones to choose from. Now, for mine, I did the G Pro Red 2.0, which was the most balanced for gaming and like heavy office loads. Now I don't really game ever on this thing because I'm not a mouse and keyboard gamer. If I do game, I'm using a controller because I can't do this on gaming, but I can do this when I'm editing. I don't know. It's just how the world works. But I got the G Pro Red 2.0, like I said. Now they have a variety of different ones. They have Night Breeze, Rose Glacier, Baby Raccoon, Baby Kangaroo, the Pro Red 2.0, and the Pro Bound 2.0. Now all of those mean nothing to you, just like they meant nothing to me. But luckily Nuphy has an in-depth breakdown of all of the keys and even some videos of the different clicking, clacking sounds, because that is really what sets this keyboard apart. So depending on what switch you go with for the feedback level depends on what clicking and clacking sound you're gonna get. Now, because I know that's really important, I wanna do this at the front. Here is a typing test that I did recording the audio from this keyboard. It just sounds absolutely fantastic. The mechanical keyboard and the haptic feedback and the clicking and clacking, which I'm going to say those things quite a bit, all make this keyboard an absolute joy to work on. When I first got this thing and got it out and started working, I didn't want to stop writing scripts for work. I didn't want to stop editing because just using this is it's just great. The feedback, the pressure, the way it all works, it's fantastic. Another huge benefit of the Nuphy keyboards is the fact that they're grease and moisture resistant keys. So you won't get that buildup, those smudges, or any of those like grease stains. And if you are, but you shouldn't be eating like Cheetos and hot Cheeto dust and Takis, which are great. Like you can eat those. You should eat those. They're fantastic, especially if you want to like just clean your system out. But you shouldn't be doing that and then typing. But hey, if you want to each their own, but these are grease and moisture resistant, which I personally am a big fan of. Okay, another feature that I really like about this keyboard that comes across all of them is the RGB lighting. Now, this is a huge one, and I think probably part of the reason a lot of people lean towards this keyboard and why it's so popular, because it's fully customizable. You have side lights, backlight, and halo light on this keyboard with different function settings, different brightness settings, and different types of feedback. So some of them, when you type, all the keys light up, and some of them, when you type, just a few of the keys light up, none of the keys light up. There's different ways you can program this, and no matter which way you lean, it's an awesome experience, especially if you have lighting around your desk like I do, and you tend to work with just like some accent lighting. It just really adds to the mood and really does a good job of adding to the atmosphere. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about the keyboard itself. It comes in two color options, base white or base black, whichever your preference. It also comes with some extra keys and different switch tryouts in the box. You get like a little sample kit, which is really nice. So you can change some of the keys, change to the Key West, I shouldn't record these when I'm hyped up, but you can change some of the key colors. So like your inner key, your escape key, your arrow keys, you can change those out if you want to, as well as your space bar. And then they give you different like samples if you want to change out the switches in your keyboard to try different feedbacks, if you wanted to order different ones, and so forth. And the other thing that comes in this is your key removal tool. Now this honestly is super easy to use. You just slide it over and pop the key out, and it pops out no problem at all. And then also what makes it really nice is they're super easy to pop back on. You just have to line it up and then apply a little bit of pressure, and you'll see in no time it's right back to operating just as you want it to. So that is a really cool. And if you want different color keys, because maybe you don't want basic white or basic black, Nuphy offers some different color keycaps that you can buy separately, and then you can trick out your keyboard however you want. And one of the other things when it comes to the keys is the space bar. This is what Nuphy calls a ghost space bar, and hitting this space bar is fantastic. It has great feedback, great bounce. It is just so fun. It's so fun to hit. The space bar, I mean, all the keys, you heard it in the typing. Another thing I will say is that this does come with the option for a two-tone wrist rest. Now it's an extra $29. I didn't opt for that. I really wish I had. I can't speak on it, but by all accounts, it's definitely something that I should have ordered because the wrist support would be nice on this keyboard. Okay, and then rounding out what you get in the box, I didn't do an unboxing. I've had this keyboard for a couple months. I didn't save the box, but you get this really nice poster thing that just kind of tells you all the different programs for the lightings, the halo settings, the Bluetooth settings, connecting and switching between different devices. And then if you want, there's a poster on the back. Doesn't really fit my aesthetic, but free poster. Who can complain about a free poster? Okay, some of the other cool features about the Nuphy keyboard, because there's tons, there's just so much to talk about other than just it's a good keyboard to talk on, or type on. Or I guess you could talk on it if you wanted to. But if you have a Windows or a Mac and you're like, oh, it's always a struggle because some keyboards are compatible, some are easier to use if you have a Mac and it's a PC keyboard and so forth, this actually works seamlessly with either one. There's a switch on the back that lets you go between Mac or Windows. So if you're someone like a Mac user like myself and you use that command key, switch it over to Mac, that command key acts as you want it to. Switch it over to Windows, that key acts as whatever it does on a Windows computer, because I don't have a Windows computer. But that ability to switch between Mac and Windows makes this a really versatile keyboard. My partner has a Windows PC and sometimes will come in when I'm not using it, take it, connect it to theirs, switch it over to Windows, do what they need to do, bring it back, I switch it over to Mac, and I'm good to go. Speaking of connectivity, there's a couple different ways you can connect this keyboard. I typically opt for a wired route, which I've unplugged for this video, so if I wanted to pick it up, I wouldn't yank all of my wires out. So you can do a wired connection, which is great. Also kind of helps with the battery life. That's how you also charge it. Comes with a USB to USB Type-C, so that becomes your wired connection, as well as a charger if you want to go Bluetooth mode, because you can connect this wirelessly up to 4 or 5 different devices with key functions on here that let you switch between them. So if you wanted to have it on your desktop, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna move to the living room, but I still need my keyboard, you could switch it over to your living room, laptop, desktop, or whatever you need. But it also helps if you have a household like mine, where maybe other people might want to use it for their devices. It can, yet again, seamlessly switch between all of them. Okay, I already told you the build quality on this thing is fantastic. It's mostly an aluminum frame, which is great and durable. On the bottom here is some really thick plastic. This is plastic, but it does not feel like plastic. It is beefy, and you really feel the full 3.5 pounds of this keyboard. Another cool thing about this is you have two on the back here adjustable like little setting things, like little stands. So if you want it higher, lower, you have two different settings, or you can go just completely flat, which I'm a big fan of, making this keyboard really easy to use on different services or different preferences on where you like your keyboard to be adjusted to. Why did I say it like that? Okay, so with all of that being said, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns about the Nuphy keyboard, let me know in the comments below and I'll do my very best to answer those for you. Don't forget to like and subscribe, all of that wonderful nonsense. Thank you guys again so very much for all the love and support. It means the absolute world to me. And with all of that being said, I will see you next time. Next time.